Now, I'm sure, we for a while had talk about Africa being the next frontier for growth. Now, Western news media, on the contrary, has always painted a picture of doom and gloom on the continent. And on the show tonight, to make a claim against this is Brad ROHR. Brad ROHR is the president of the ROHR's team. Now, the ROHR's team is a global real estate company that provides logistical support to diasporans seeking to invest in residential developments in West Africa and also settle and retire there. Now, Brad has spent a good part of the last few years since the pandemic in Ghana and a few other West African countries, which he's going to talk about. He has also been attending key Investing in Africa events out here in DC, New York, and in different parts of the world. He will also be sharing with us about this and more. Brad also has some thought-provoking content on his Instagram account. Yeah, you should follow him at ROHR Stream. I'm going to spell that. It's ROHRS.
Not Rohare.
T-E-A-M. No, it's ROHRS. T-E-A-M. So make sure you follow him on Instagram. And he's also going to give us his handles to all other social media pages that he has.
His name is a challenge for my mountain people.
Exactly.
So carry on.
How do you say arara?
We're gonna find out shortly.
Lol.
We're gonna find out shortly how that name is pronounced. But on Instagram is where we first, took notice of him. He'll also tell us why he feels Africa has far superior education systems compared to the US, and also why he says Africa has better standards of living over both Europe and the US. Very bold comments. Brad, welcome to the OneMicShow.
Hey, it's absolutely great to be here, and I look forward to having this conversation.
Okay, and how are you feeling today?
I'm feeling good. We had a long week, but I'm here now with you guys. I'm looking forward to the next couple hours.
Okay, and we're having an interesting conversation before we started. You're saying this is the first time that you are on a live broadcast. You've done a lot of interviews, but never live.
We've done live interviews. We've done conferences, but we've never actually sat in a great studio like this with a bunch of guys to discuss these issues live. So this is really exciting for me, and hey, I'm happy my first time's with you.
Okay, all right, and then this will be a very great and interesting interview. But before we get started on the conversation today, we have some of our listeners who may be hearing about you for the first time. So in a brief minute or two, please give us a brief background about yourself, Brad.
Yeah, my name is Brad ROHR. We originally started as a real estate development firm here in the Washington, Baltimore, D.C. area. Life takes you on weird paths, and we had an opportunity about 5 years ago to branch out and do initially analysis for West African companies, particularly those who were looking for grants and bank loans. But one opportunity leads to another, and we became partners with a development in Ghana, which is going incredibly well, just outside of Accra and up in the mountains of Aburi, and really exciting smart home communities. I wish I could build homes as good as what we're building in Ghana here for the Americans, but unfortunately they just don't let us. So
now talk about that.
Absolutely,
yeah, because and this is even besides conversations we're having. But talk about that. You have said before, on one of your many videos, that the quality of houses in Africa is way higher than the quality of houses that are built here in the US. Talk to us about that.
Yeah, particularly for the new construction that's going up across West Africa. What you're finding in the mid to higher level developments is quality that can't be replicated in the Western world, and it comes down to where the money is going. When we're developing properties, which we've done in America, we're happy to do that, but your money that you're paying us for this new home construction, almost 60 or 70% of that is going into purchasing the land, getting the developmental rights, putting the infrastructure down. Whereas in West Africa, particularly in Ghana, if you're buying a $200,000 house, at least $160,000 of that is going into the quality of the materials. We also are building with concrete. We're not building with cheap plywood.
Wow.
In thousands of years, there's going to be no archaeologists looking at Western houses. They're all going to go into dust. But I have a feeling that just like the old construction in Europe, what we're building right now in West Africa is going to be around that long of a time. It's just going to be around forever because we're building out of the strongest materials that we could possibly build out of. Because these properties are being built to be handed down. You have to understand the buyers that we have. They're not just buying for themselves. These are family homes that they're anticipating are going to go to their kids' kids, their children, all the way down the line. and so they won't tolerate anything but the best quality.
Wow, DJ Moshfire, want to get you in on this conversation and tell me, first of all, I mean, we're starting on such a high note. What do you think? What are your thoughts about that? You know, because I think most of the time we've never paused to think about the quality of housing. So like the house that you own here, and maybe the house that you own back in...
My friend, why are we throwing stones?
No. I'm just, you know, I'm just
sorry,
trying to
ask your question.
I'm just trying to get your thoughts on whether you've ever given that a thought. Quality, something as
Of
simple
course.
as quality of housing.
Of course, because basically, if you look at the way homes are built here, they're built about, it's basically how cheap and how fast can you build it. It's not necessarily about longevity past the 30 years of your mortgage.
Wow.
So if your home, because your roof doesn't, normally, most roofs don't give you the 30 years. You know, if it goes through like 3 owners in 30 years, one of you is replacing the roof.
Mm-hmm.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
Your AC system, if you get 10 years, you're good. If you get 20, that's a bonus.
And you have recent experience with that.
For AC.
Let's not go there with the AC business. In fact, replacing your AC is $6,000 to $10,000 predicament you have to go through. And there's financing, blah blah blah. It all depends on how you move your money around. But still, that's an expensive.
Were you warned? Oh, sorry. Carry on.
I had warning.
Okay, sorry.
Yes, I had warning. So, as a homeowner, there are certain things that you can do. You can get, it depends on who your AC guy is also, right?
Yeah.
But let's go back to the building and quality of the
Big
homes.
shout out to
Yes.
Edu.
Yes. Yes, big shout out to Edu. In terms of the qualities of the homes here, you look at the building material that's used here. We use a lot of, I guess I'd call it, is it processed woods? Is the right way of saying it, right? We have siding. We have even the roofing material you look at that we use. It's, to be honest, the elements are not, I guess I'd say the elements are not kept out of the home.